Good morning, everyone. It's Tom Sydney Bushnell, aka Numbers, here from Psych Club, from the Tom Numbers Show. I still have one of those on Rumble and on my locals channel, and from News with Tom Numbers. So I've got two amazing guests with me today. I've got Georgie and Claire, known by their name in the community, the Venus twins. This has been a work in progress. Our mutual friend Deb has been able to put us together, and we've just been talking about. Well, I'll let you share it because it's exciting news. So welcome to the show, girls. How are you?
Great. And thank you so much for having us, Tom. We are so thrilled to be meeting you finally. And
Tom Numbers, hey? Yeah, cool.
And we have to say, both of us are total failures when it comes to maths. So we're really relying on you to work out all the gematria for us.
Yeah.
You know what? It's interesting you say that. So, Georgie, you don't even have to be that good at maths. I mean, it helps. I've said it before, I've said it a number of times, I'm not really a great mathematician. So if I do things fast in my head, I might add it up slightly incorrectly, but I always double check it. I've got better at maths because I'm a calculator, at school it was all on paper and long division, all of that. But then I just like everyone else, just on my calc. But it's a quick way to do it and to check them. And I always double check my work. So I like to be as accurate as possible. But the biggest thing I find with the numbers is associating things and looking around corners and stuff. So I'm good at connecting the dots in all kinds of disciplines and noticing the synchronicities. And the numbers are like a thread that I'm able to weave them upon. And so some people are really good at.
It's fascinating that you're saying this. Sorry to jump in, but today, because Georgie and I are ET contactees, as some of your viewers may know or may not know, and we're channelers as well.
We get a few out here. Yeah, we've had a few out. I had a friend a few days ago, and we saw some ETs out in the evening. Yeah. Well,
I have some information on that.
We saw ships. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got some information about exactly what you said about using the numbers to weave a story, and I did a channeling for you this afternoon with Georgie, and would you like us to start it because it's about you?
It's awesome. And do you want to tell the viewers as well about is it too early, or can you tell them what you're planning for Australia?
Yes, of course, about our course.
Yeah, and also the talk.
It might be too early.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Is that too early? Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm on about.
That's
Just watch
okay.
Australia next year. There you go. That's it. Okay.
Yeah, he's throwing it out there. It's manifesting itself.
And I'm
already.
thinking we're going to do here in England. So we did my Bournemouth event last week, and thanks for everyone that came. We had an amazing time, super high vibes. And I'm thinking part 2. I think we're going to do. Just watch this space. I think we're going to do another one, a bigger one in a location. Well, it'd just be President Trump says think big, so I think that's what we're going to do. So yeah, tell us about this channeling you've got then.
Wow. So before when we meet new people, we like to find out a little bit about them from the council that we're in touch with, and they're called the Andromedan Council of 9. You may like to.
The Council of 9, yeah.
Yes.
They also have a more ancient name called the Council of Zene. So we are Zene beings. That's our origin. And
how do you spell Zene?
Zenae. We'd love the gematria on that too. We've got a few words written down for you, Tom.
We do. So this beautiful,
Zenae.
AE, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, 51. Great. Michael, Jasara, Batman. Okay, very good. Yeah,
very interesting.
So it's the Council of 9 Zene, is that right? Or the 9 Zene?
No, they're called the Andromedan Council of 9
because they're from the Andromedan galaxy.
And where does the Zene part come in? How would you phrase it?
Well, Zene is part of the Andromedan galaxy. It's a planet that was destroyed by evil long ago. And the Zene beings, some of them survived. They were off on a ship on a mission, and about 1,000 of them survived when their planet was destroyed. And they are a race of beautiful, benevolent beings that are extremely ancient, and they work with God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit to heal. Mainly, they're all healers. They have an innate ability to understand their bodies from birth, to communicate with their bodies and listen to their bodies and heal. And wherever they go, they basically transform planets into planets of natural healing and well-being. So
that's very interesting you say that.
There are many here at the moment on Earth that are helping to heal.
Yes, and there are also many of them on a ship as well that we've recently come in touch with.
I'm just going to do this again. Z-A-N.
No, Z-E.
Z-E, that's it. Z-E-N.
N-A-E.
Yeah. So you said it's a planet. So planet is 68. So I did planet Zene, which is 119. You said it's about natural healing. So it's come to 119, which is redemption, which is Mary Magdalene. It's also Nikola Tesla. So people have said Tesla's an alien. I don't know if he came from there, but maybe.
Yes,
it could be 119. And it's a reverse of that event in New York in 2001. So it's like that's interesting.
The flip coin of it.
Yeah.
The message that we have for you, I think you'll really enjoy. Would you like us to read it out for you?
I would love it. And you know what? The time here in the UK is see?
Oh wow, that's a bit crazy.
Wow.
See that? So there's a little, there you go. That's the time.
Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah,
that's
cool.
There was no coincidence. So Tom, this is a message for you directly from the Council of Andromeda, otherwise known as the Council of Zene, which is their more ancient name.
Okay.
Tom, and this was done today for you. Tom, it is a pleasure to be able to greet you through the Venus twins and through your higher wondrous self. And the Venusians are very aware of and praising your magnificent work here on Earth in this lifetime. The Arcturians also praise your work, and we are about to explain something very interesting to you. The Arcturian Council are your soul group, your soul family, shall we say. The word family is used quite broadly because here we have a group much larger than a family unit. An extremely large group of us are protecting you, Tom. And the reason for this is because the interest of Earth is dependent upon many belief systems that in your mind cannot be stored by lower level vibrational entities. What this means, in another way of presenting this statement, is that you hold a certain brainwave that is extremely beneficial to the benevolent alliance and also to the bringing down of the lower vibrational entities that inhabited Earth here. The work that you do in the third dimension is extremely intricate. And this is just and this is just as you are working in other dimensions too. This intricacy, this finite work that you are so well known for around the galaxy is to calculate and describe certain coordinates that are of interest to the Alliance. And these calculations can only be described as unimaginable in their capacity to make clear to certain groups in their capacity to make clear to a certain group that is able to infiltrate certain areas. This is shaky ground, they said. We are not able to speak as fully as we would like because this is all that we're allowed to say about the work that you do for the Alliance. And let us be clear that the Alliance is on another dimension, and the part of you that works with them in this way also is. The brain, the calculations, and the cleverness that you display is second to none. This is why the creation of stories, and this is what you mentioned when we just met you, within numbers, beautiful stories, they said, and directional ideations can be summarized and thoroughly understood by you, Tom. Your brain is incredibly brilliant, and this is sometimes a little overwhelming for you, but never see this gift as such, because the Alliance are very much using your talents at night when you sleep. This talent is extremely useful for the Alliance in, as we said, finding and locating certain points in which there are very few ways to enter. You see, the dimensions are so intricate in their mathematical understandings. We know that you understand what we are saying to some degree because your soul understands it. The Arcturian Council are your galactic soul family, and the Arcturians do much good work for humanity and for the Alliance, the white hats, as you call them. So do we, and we are not really able to wear white hats, I said. They were laughing. And then they said, our bodies do not allow for it. It's rather funny, they said. Yes, we do like to joke. We asked a couple of questions for you here about the lights over Bournemouth. Okay. Deb said, yes. Yeah. You were actually seeing Arcturian spacecraft, they said. It is not unusual for Arcturians who have bodies of light such as yours that vibrate with a similar vibration to the ships that they see or think they see. The ships are coming into your conscious awareness because you are vibrating at a similar vibration. The Arcturians want to help you by upgrading your DNA and things like this. They are trying to.
Please, I'd love that.
Yeah, oh yeah. They are trying to awaken more of humanity as well and helping. And then they said, downloads of information come into the consciousness of a human when they are ready. And Tom, you have certainly been ready for a very long time. Your extreme competence at counting and mathematics is due to a brilliant brain cortex. A brain cortex is highly designed to extreme calculating abilities. And by this, we mean numbers, of course. But it is more than that. The design of Tom's brain allows for information to come in, and it can be, shall we say, sorted and sent to areas of the brain that require it much, much faster than a normal everyday human. This is your superpower, Tom. And we know that you know this, and now more and more people around the world know it too. And then the Council of Zene said they would also like to bring your attention that your work is highly regarded by them as well. You often work with the Council of Zene and bring much needed simplified answers to their more difficult questions. You are very adept at finding answers and being able to explain them easily to others. This is highly regarded, as we just said, and you are a hero to us. You have brought down many malevolent ships with your exact calculations and summaries of how and where to find these malevolent ships, with your intuition, which is also very helpful in accomplishing these missions. So we thank you from all of us here on board the Enterprise spaceship and the Journey. These are the Venusian ships. We are taking our hats off to you because we wear them, they said, the council.
They had a joke back about it.
Yeah.
They've got the hats. Yeah.
Arcturians have beautiful faces and heads, but yes, they do not wear hats. We sometimes wear white hats and have a laugh, but the term white hats, you'll find out tonight from Tom, has a very high vibrational gematria. So with that, we sign off with love and light in Jesus' name, and always remember God wins, they said. So there you go.
Wow.
So from the sky to you.
From the
Thanks, Phil. That's incredible.
Yeah, you can go back obviously and listen to it a bit slower.
It's interesting you talk about the Arcturians because people have said to me before, oh, you're Pleiadian, and then others. Arcturian came up into my kind of awareness. And when I started to look at the ship, trying to find the ships, so, Mark Atwood told me how to, I'd seen them, but I wasn't like kind of pinpointing them. And he said, just pick a spot in the sky that kind of resonates. And I found this one. When I was in Regent's Park in London, I was walking around the park at night and I was like, okay. Well, it was on the road because they lock the park at night, but you can go around parts where you go over the little bridge. And I was near the tennis courts and I'm looking up and this light in the sky kind of catches my attention. And it was, is it Arcturus? I think it's the star Arcturus, or maybe it's a planet, but it was there. And he said, well, just kind of give it your attention. And I did. And then very quickly, that's when ships started to move around. And I was like, so maybe they're my people, So it's interesting you brought that up because we've not chatted before, So it's interesting that you felt that's what's coming through. So that makes sense. And that's interesting about destroying the ships. I hadn't thought that, but there are places there are things that so that I've said to friends, I probably only say about maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 5 to 20%, given the show, depending on what the show is, what I say and what I feel and what I think I understand. So there's a lot I don't, because I'm like, well, are they ready? Maybe I shouldn't. But that's interesting. That's very interesting. I hadn't thought about that though, about actually destroying malevolent bad ships. Yeah, hadn't thought about that.
Pinpointing
we hadn't either until
locations.
they told us.
You find precise locations through your mathematical skills,
which it must be a very, very difficult mission to do, to find these, because they're in these, you know, very, very.
I wonder if it's got something to do with them with solving. So like I said, I'm not a great mathematician per se, but connecting the dots and bringing all reference points and bringing it together and seeing it. And I always go with, and that's what I teach people to do. Quite often people will say, oh, well, how to get the meaning? And I'm like, well, it just flows to you. It's like, I don't look it up on the computer. It comes and it's the first impression. I'm like, and it makes sense. And then it bounces on to the next one, and it all just is like there. And that's how I do it. But I know it's a gift, and it's coming from somewhere else. You know, I'm being assisted with it. I accept it and, you know, cherish it. And that's why I feel that that's what it is. You know, it comes that way. But I hadn't thought about the coordinates really. I hadn't, maybe a little bit, because I'm beginning to look at portals, and I'm kind of going to places and I feel like, oh, this is a portal. This is something. And I don't always know what it is, but I get a feeling around it. And I actually visit places, sometimes accidentally, serendipitously. I did one just the other day. I went to this place in Wareham, and it was 1,000-year-old church. And I felt like I had to be there for 5 minutes. And I went in, it's very small. You go in and I touched and I just was like, it feels like it's one of the Pokemon Go steps in the game that I need to go and activate or do something to, you know?
Yeah.
Just being there.
That seems to be coming up a lot for some people, doesn't it, lately? Yeah, we're coming. So I think what we're here for, you know, is starting to become more and more, you know, obvious to us, but slowly and gently too, you know.
And on a funny note, I felt the great need to be in nature today. So I went for a drive to a place called the Dandenongs here, which is in the mountains where they have really giant old trees. And I just needed to be around trees. Well, we arrived there, parked the car. It was 11:11.
There you go. Yeah.
Meant to be here.
How's it spelled, Georgie? How's it spelled?
Well, where we went was Olinda, Olinda.
Yeah.
But
and the other name you mentioned?
The Dandenong Ranges.
Dandenong.
Yeah.
Huh. Let's have a look.
It's
because they're unique names.
So mountain range. It's a mountain range called the Great Dividing Range here in Victoria.
So how do you spell Dandenong?
Dandenong.
Dandenong, yeah. DANDEN. Yeah.
ONG.
Okay, and then the other word. What was the other word?
Ranges. RANGES.
Oh yeah, ranges, and then there was another like noun that you called it something else. What was it?
Olinda.
Olinda, that was it. Okay. Yeah. They're the ones I feel like I should do. Let's have a look. Olinda.
It was OLINDA.
So Dandenong. 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 So
E.
Yeah, E. So DANDENONG. That's interesting. I'm going to do it one more time.
I feel like I'm in the classroom.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I'm getting the spelling right.
Yeah, I always double check because, you know, they can play with the. Sometimes they play the calculator. I found out one today that I thought was a certain value and it's not, and I'm like, they've changed it, or I see where the change is, but I'm trying to find previous references of that spelling, and so it's changed, which actually is kind of relieving, to be fair. So 78 is Kennedy, Genesis, podcast. It's a few people's names. Let's have a look. Olinda. Making me think of Wonder Woman. Like Linda Carter. And Princess Diana, Princess Diana, Wonder Woman. Anyway, so OLINDA. Okay. OLINDA. DA. Yes. That's very good, actually. This is what's come up. So Olinda, I just said Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, and then makes me think of Diana. A lot of people feel, and I think it's true, definitely at some moments, where Melania and Diana might be one and the same. But Olinda is 55, which is heaven, which is JFK Jr. We just got a flash then when I said that, so I think that they're confirming it. And Melania is 55. What's that?
We've been getting a few of those flashes.
Yeah, we have. We've had a lot of flashes. They keep confirming it. You get flashes or you get echo, you get electronic echoes that happen. But Olinda, 55. Yeah, 78 plus. So Dandy Dong, 78, which is Genesis. Olinda, 55, Heaven or Melania. Adds together as 133, which is simulation, which is what I'm getting. This whole thing, we're in a simulation and we're going around doing our light worker stuff. So like you said, when you activate or you do something and the codes are changed, or it's either neutralized or upgraded. You either get rid of the ones that need to go, you get rid of the old system, and then or you upgrade the new one. Because I do feel like we're in this simulation. That's what's been coming to me a lot. And it might be something even more advanced than that. I mean, it's just a word to kind of describe it, but 133, it comes to Dandy Dong and Olinda, and they're the two that jumped out at me when you were like talking. So I was like, right, I'm just going to do what those. That's what I do. It comes.
Yeah,
I don't second guess it. I just do it, and that's what we've got. So that ties in fully with going around, activating, and then you gave him more description, like bringing down bad ships, communing with higher councils and stuff, because it is a Pokemon Go reality game. That's what it feels like to me.
Yes, indeed.
Well, it was a beautiful place, and I changed. Once I'd been there, I felt like a new person when I left. It was a beautiful healing going there, hugging giant trees and just looking at these giant trees, really old, beautiful. Yes. Beautiful place, fern gullies and little waterfalls, and it was just so healing to be there. Really beautiful.
Giant is also Zene. So I wonder if that's where the giants come from, because Zene is giant as well, 51. You said trees. So trees 48, Tom, but trees 67. Wow. So giant trees is 118. That's the first code I ever got, 118.
Do you know when we found out about this new ship we've found out about recently called the Journey, which has about 1 million Zene beings on it, and it's in Earth's atmosphere at the moment. They talked about the planet Zene and how we didn't know much about it at this point. And they said, Zene, the first planet in the Milky Way system, born in complete service to the one true living God of all creation, love, light, and compassion. The planet was a stunning planet full of amazing color and striking atmospheric geographical creations that were not unlike some found here on Earth. But some planet structures, or some of the planet structures, were unlike Earth in that the size of these structures were much larger than Earth's. The example of structures being different to Earth are the size of the trees, and the size of some of the mountain ranges were 10 times the size of Earth's greatest peaks. To see these wondrous mountain ranges and the enormity of them was a sight to see. That's about Zene planet. And you're just talking about giants and giant trees.
Yeah.
And Zene.
Yeah. And you said, yeah, there you go. You said, so those giant trees were at Dandenong, yeah? Is that right? Yeah. So I've just done the phrase giant trees at Dandydong, and that comes to 217, which comes to, I just mentioned her, Lady Diana Frances Spencer, but it also comes to how I introduced myself, Tom Sidney Bushnell. So it's like,
oh wow.
I need to do both of your numbers because there's going to be a correlation. Let's have a look at it. So
great.
So we've got Georgie Beaumont. Let me have a look. So George. Do
you need full name?
You can play with it. I think the ones you go by, you can always add other stuff. I mean, I think the more the merrier, because then you get you get more codes. But we're not just limited to one or two things. So Georgie Beaumont.
My full name's Georgina.
Okay, we'll go with Georgie because that's the one you kind of broadcast. You can always change
it. From birth,
it.
I've been called that, Georgie, from birth.
Okay, so Georgie Beaumont, and then Claire, Claire.
Yep.
And your last
Wood
name, Claire?
Woodley. Woodley. Woodley.
There's a place in Reading called Woodley here in Berkshire in England, and my mother's parents are Wood. My grandparents I talk about a lot with the numbers.
Yeah. Well, my grandfather was from
the Wood. That's the lie line of the Wood.
Oh.
Sorry, you were saying. Yeah, so you were saying.
Oh, my grandfather was born in Bournemouth.
Yes, you said, yeah.
Sent out to Australia when he was 14 on a boat.
Georgie. So let's have a look here. So Georgie would be that's 66, which makes sense. That's happy. That's woman. That's freedom. That's event. So Georgie, and then Beaumont would be. That's like beautiful mount, isn't it? That's kind of what that word comes to. So BEAUMONT. Do it one more time. BEAUMONT. Georgie Beaumont. So Beaumont is 91, which is Space Force, which is freedom, which is, sorry, not freedom, which is liberty, future. That's 157. And then Claire Woodley. So look, so CLARE. Ha. CLAIRE. Well, you know what I just said about the trees? I said trees 48, or Claire's 48 as well. So Tom's 48, Claire's 48, trees 48, and we're just talking about the trees. So Claire's 48, and then Wood is 57, which is George, but we've got Georgie. So Wood is 57, and then LEY. So that's 99. That's Patriot. That's Ascension. So 48, Woodley, 147, the trump card, the dove language. Okay.
Love that.
147.
I'm talking about the trump card the other day.
Were you?
We've sent a Trump flag to Mark. Hope he's got it.
Mr. Des. Remember him?
And then we should do the Venus twin, because I think the word, let me check, I think the word twin from memory is 66 as well. Let's have a look. So Venus is 81, which is Tower, which is Tiffany, which is dollars. I'll just double check that though. VENUS. So are you from Venus then? Is that what it is? Instead of like you're saying I'm Arcturian, but are you from Venus? Is that what it is?
We're Zene beings originally, but we choose to live on Venus now because Zene was destroyed, the planet. So
okay. So you live there currently as well? So you back and forth from Australia and Venus?
Apparently we're just over 600 years old in this lifetime on Venus that we're living as twins, identical twins.
The multi-dimensional.
You've had an easy paper round, girls, haven't you?
It takes ages.
Yeah, so twin
I'm
is 66.
sick of it.
So twin is 66, which is Georgie. But twins, plural, is 85, which is awakening, which is storm, which is matrix, which is creation. So Venus twins is 166, the simulation. So Transformers as well. That was on again last night. So Transformers, Autobots is 166. How they,
adding the Venus twins.
Yeah, I'm going to add that as well. So that will be 19. So that comes back to for a personal one for my grandfather. I mentioned my grandmother, but my grandfather, Sidney Charles Wood. So he might, maybe he's part of your system, or maybe he's up to, I don't know. Where's Papa from? That's a personal one, but the 166. So do you have any affiliation with London and St. Paul's Cathedral? Doesn't matter if you don't, it's just.
I lived in Brighton for a while, but really.
So that's the other side. That's not far from Bournemouth. That's the other side of the other one. So the Venus twins is 199. Let's look at this. 199 plus 4. Okay. 304.
Glad I'm not adding those up.
So if you both together, if you do Georgie Beaumont and Claire Woodley, but you put the word "and," that's 323. That's like a nice palindromic number because it's just it's their special one. Yeah, so they're like I've got a number of ways to say my name, but Tom Bushnell is 141, which is Quantum Leap, which is reincarnation, Looking Glass, but it's also Mark Atwood. So we both got the same numbers, 141. But you two together is 323. And if you can break that as well, so if you do 32 plus 23, that takes you to 55 again, which is Heaven, which is Melania, which is Olinda. So that's interesting that you went there. You did that today at Olinda.
Interesting. My goodness. Yeah. I know that I could just go over hours on learning about or listening to you do that.
So what about white hats? What is so high vibrational about that gematria?
So white hat is white is 65, which is doves. Doves I believe that the doves are the simulation, the antidote for the matrix. I always just have a positive disposition. So even when I talk about matrix, I feel like it's this positive matrix creation. But if you take the kind of negative side of the matrix, and it's this slave system where we've all been kind of suppressed and used and all the rest of it, like the movie depicted. But it also did have a glorious side where you could rise above it. Where was I going with that? The matrix. Doves. Yeah. So there's a clip. I found this. If someone sent it to me, and I mentioned it. I actually said dove language when we were talking. I said. And I just put that out because it came in. So sometimes it comes in, I just say it, and then it comes back later. So there's a depiction of. So the dove is. You don't have to be religious, but there's a lot of people that watch that Christian. So you've got the sign of the dove with John the Baptist and Christ with the baptism. You've got Tesla when he had a dove. I think there's even one with JFK with it, but definitely DJT, President Trump. There's a portrait picture, photograph of him holding a dove when he's a lot younger man. It's like, why is he doing that? Because everything he does is symbolic, everything is coded, everything is deliberate. But the dove is the thing of peace, and you're very attuned with the ships that are above us that we can't see fully yet. But the best is yet to come. I believe refers to the point where you're going to see the mothership, or they call it the dove, when it either. I'm not sure if it connects and comes down, or it's actually built into the earth and it rises, or it might be two. I'm not sure. I'm in an arguing about that. I even think New York might have a ship underneath it. I think New York might be on a spaceship. But I don't know. That's an intuition. That's a feeling. But the dove is the mothership. Kennedy's all part of that. That's why I think that's probably we came up with Don. The word Don. What was it today? Don Dangan. That one. Can't remember. How did we say it? Dandy Dong, that one.
Dandy Nong.
Dandy Nong. Yeah. So that was 78.
It's like Dandelion, but Dandy Nong.
Yeah.
It's weird. I know.
Yeah, Dandy Nong. So Kennedy, I think, and it's interesting you said about the Enterprise, because I think the Star Trek stuff is fully connected with Tesla, also Kennedy with JFK, even at the events of his assassination in 63. But the mothership. The New Jerusalem, because the New Jerusalem, some say the New Jerusalem is the dove, but when you add that together, that full phrase, that's 343, which is President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's like a Captain Kirk character up there, kind of commanding the ship, and there might be many of them as well. I think they interchange, if it's a whole bunch of them. But the dove, that was it. The dove, the antidote. The dove is the antidote to the system, and there's actually a TV show years ago here in England called Red Dwarf. Dwarf is dove, red is 27 JFK. So it's saying that JFK is one of the doves. and they're destroying. They've gone back in time to this, and it's all a simulation. So they actually go back into the ship, a bit like the Matrix, where it's kind of all clunky in a ship, and they pop in and out of the reality. But the Red Dwarf guys are trying to destroy. There's 4 cowboys, all in black, on the other side. So it's kind of like the white hats against the dark hats. You know, it's kind of what it is. And they come down to the last guy, and all of them get shot out except for the last one. And he's trying to destroy them, and he pulls out his guns and his holsters. And this is just describing a TV show. And they've pulled out, and instead of the guns come out, but they turn into doves, and the doves neutralize, and then the whole system collapses, and they go back to, I guess, a good singularity or whatever. It's game over, but it's the doves. And I knew that. I was like, the dove is the antidote to the Matrix, to the system, to the AI.
This is amazing. And a really beautiful kind of introduction into why we're here, I guess.
Because I keep getting the word healing as you're speaking about the doves too. Healing. How does that come into it too? Because that's what we are here to do. That's what we are.
So healing is 56, which is light. So that's it. So light is healing. So dove is, let's have a look at this. So
getting the flicks there, getting the flicks across the screen.
Yeah. And also, this is the other thing. So planet is 68. We spoke about that earlier, but it's also language. So dove language is 114, which is trump card, which is frequency. So dove language, the antidote to the Matrix, to this whole thing that we're in. And basically the love is a symbol of, so I said it, dove is a symbol of love. So love is the dove. That's what it is. There you go, flashed again. So love is the dove.
Flashing everything.
We should do a thing on that. Love is the dove. Love is the dove. It's 161. That takes me back to
love is the drug.
Love is the drug. Yeah, love it. 161. That's in the photograph I got with Ivanka when I met her. So there's Ivanka plus Tom plus a 55. There you go, 55. I had a golden 55 in the photograph when I first met her. It was just behind us, and that's 161. So love is the dove. And Marie is 46 dove. It's a whole number of things, but so the dove is the antidote. That's what it is. It's symbolic of that. So healing, going back to Georgie, healing is 56, which is light. So healing, let's say healing
the masses.
Healing the masses.
That's what we're here doing.
We've got
healing language. There's healing language, because language is 68, which is planet. We talked about that earlier. The language, so healing language or light language is 124, which comes to compassion. And that's what that is. So compassion is healing language or light language. There's compassion.
We speak light language too when we heal.
Yeah. And it is compassionate. That's certainly what it feels like in every statement of that word. Yeah.
More flicks.
More flicks, yeah.
We're speaking of an antidote to the
Trump is the antidote. 88 Trump is the antidote. So him and his family and what he's doing, representing is the antidote to 88's antidote. Yes. Yeah, Trump is the antidote.
They're Venusians.
Yes, we've got a big one for you to decode for us now. So get started now while we talk. The name of our course that we've been gifted and channeled from the Andromedan Council of 9 is Return to Sovereignty and God, the course.
Well, sovereign is 114, which is dove language, which is trump card frequency. So that's sovereign. Let's have a look. So
Return to Sovereignty and God, the course. So this is a course for people Reiki 2 and above. You don't have to have Reiki 2 and above to purchase it, but this is a beautiful
Reiki,
course.
Yes, I love Reiki. I've always had good experiences with Reiki. In the past, another time, and then also recently. Okay, let me get this full phrase in. So if you give that to me again, girls, I'll go through this.
Return to sovereignty.
I think return is 96 spaceship, if I remember rightly. So return to sovereignty.
And God.
Sovereignty, yeah. And God, yeah.
Yes. then it's called, then after that is the course. They wanted that specifically, dash the course. Yes.
Dash, okay, that's interesting. So, okay, so return to sovereignty and God, dash the course, yeah? Okay, let's have a look. So sovereign, so return, I'm pretty sure is 96. Let's just have a look there. Let's check. So RETURN, yeah, 96. It's also society. So there's another thing called the White Dove Society, which 107 put me onto.
Wow.
And society is also 96. And there's a book. What's it called? It's a Tesla book. Is it Return? I think it's called simply Return of the Dove. But then there's a 96 within it. There's someone's, I think the author. It's all coded again, but there's a book.
Amazing.
I think it's called Return of the Dove, and Return is 96, which is society, and it's the White Dove Society. Who held a white dove? Oh, Tesla did. Trump's got it. I'm sure there were probably pictures with Diana and JFK Jr. at some point with the dove, but definitely those two with Tesla and Trump. So Return is 96, and 2 is 35. 35 is JFK. He was the 35th president. Orb is 35. We get a lot of those. So sovereign, and then T. Sovereignty is 159, which is JFK. John F. Kennedy Jr. is sovereignty. I just, so I'd forgotten that, but I'd forgotten what sovereignty was if I'd done it. I know sovereign. I just mentioned him, didn't I? So, and is DNA 19. And God is 26, which is game, which is card. That's why, I do feel it's a game. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but we're in this reality, whatever it is. But it's God, they're the same values.
Yeah.
So return, 96, return to, so return to is 131, which is John F. Kennedy, and I just mentioned him then. So, yes, return to sovereignty, 159, 290, and, hang on, 290. Plus 19. So that's, the calculator's playing up there. It's playing tricks here. I don't know if I should say, I think I could say it. So here we go. So 131, return to sovereignty, 290, and so that's 309. 309 is the shot heard around the world. 309 is also, which ties in with your question about white hats, because I didn't say it. So the white hats, or the white hats, I'll check that. But that's got a connection with November 5th. So we're always told in English culture to remember November 5th, November. It's in Back to the Future. It's when Doc Brown discovered time travel. It's significant. It's got stuff to do with, I won't say the names, but it's got significant characters in this whole thing we're in. I'll tie to this date. But I think I could say this one. So 309 is November 5th, so the 309th day of the year is November 5th.
Whoa.
It's
so, and that's also the shot heard around the world. That's also the phrase of the shot heard around the world. What's the shot that is heard around the world that's going to wake the world up? I don't think it's well, it could be a number of shots, but it's also the Queen heard around the world, 309. So the shot heard around the world is also the Queen heard around the world, 309. So that's
amazing.
309 plus 26 God. Where do we get to? 335. Okay, 335. And then you got this dash thing, yeah. So dash is 30. So the dash is 32, which is again. So if you spell the word dash, because I usually just do the letters, but you can do, punctuation and apostrophe. Apostrophe, interesting enough, 133, the simulation again. So the course, here we go, course. COURSE. That's why they've told you to. So course, here we go. I'm just going to double check it. So course is Venus, 81.
No way.
Yeah. And the course is 114, frequency. Trump card. Sovereign, the course. So they're saying basically sovereignty again. That's what they're saying to you, because again is 32, the dash. So if you had the dash 32, that takes you to 146, which takes you to New Jerusalem, which takes you to Ivanka Trump, which takes you to Truth Social. That's what that, okay. Yeah. Plus
wow,
335.
that's
Oh, girls, you're going to be blown away at this. Okay. I'm just going to double check all my work on this because this is intense, this one. This is like bonkers. Okay, so 81 is also tower. You've got Trump Tower, but there's also another kind of equivalent. There's probably a few actually. I think Empire State Building, I think Chrysler. There's a few towers, but there's one that's kind of hidden, but it's the Tesla building. So it's the Tesla Hotel, the New Yorker. And I've stayed there and it's on 5th Avenue. 5th Avenue is 125 time travel. Sorry, 8th Avenue, correction. 8th Avenue, 125 time travel. But there's a significant number with this. And I've done this before, but I'm going to bring this up. So the course, is, like I said, is frequency 114. And Tesla was all about frequency. And Dove language is 114. That's what I said. So Tesla was teaching the Dove language. So 114, but you add the dash, which is 32. Which is again, so it's again Dove language, again frequency, again Trump card, again sovereign. That comes to 146. We'll do a bit of a
reading on this if you like in another day.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do some information about this Dove language return.
Yeah, so dash is 32. Trump, Ivanka Trump 146. So here, so this is the bit that ties it into the Nikola Tesla Hotel. So dash is again 32. Right, here we go. So 309 plus God or game 26, 335 plus 146, which is basically the dash, the course. So all of that comes to 481. Now 481, I've known this for a long time. 481 is the actual number of the Tesla Hotel. So it's New Yorker or the New Yorker Hotel. There's many ways to say it, and there's a lot of codes with it, but it's on 8th Avenue, which is number 481. 481 is a deliberate number, they chose that. So your course actually comes to, and we've been talking about Tesla throughout today, return to sovereignty and God dash the course, which is 481. So it's a Tesla coded course. Yeah, so it's and you talked about your mission is to do with healing, and I said, like true healing. And I was like, yeah, that's when I brought Tesla up at the beginning. So his hotel that he lived in, and I've stayed in there. I've stayed in the room that he was in, the library and his apartment. They're now two apartments, but they were just one, like a bigger unit in that hotel on the 33rd floor. I might add 33. It's 481. So 481.
Goodness.
That, and you talked about locations, didn't you? You talked about locations.
I've got goosebumps.
You're getting the gooses, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you told me I've been doing locations. I've been bringing stuff down, and I wasn't aware of that, but I've been activating places as well. There you go. We got a flash then. Wow.
What is going on? Would you like to hear a little bit about that? We'll tell you the viewers a bit about the course, because it's really, really amazing. So
here's the manual.
Yeah, this is a course that we
see, and that's kind of like a dove. Your symbol is like, it's very peaceful with the jade stone. So can we just bring it down? Wisdom woven in time. That's what we're getting. Healing, light. Can you just slide? There are some doves there flying around. There's two doves. Yeah,
they're ravens. They're
ravens. Return to sovereignty and God.
Because the 9, our beautiful spirit guides, are represented to us by ravens. We often see them that way when we're healing and working on
ravens is 77, which is Hertz, which is Christ, which is power.
Oh my God.
JFK had Hertz above the building, above the book depository. It said Hertz when he, Can you hold that up again slowly so we can read the whole title again? I know we've done it in numbers, but it's nice to see it visually. So return to sovereignty and God, the course. But it's amazing you put the dash in, because the dash isn't there, but you said put the dash in.
Well,
and that's what took it to 481.
Yeah, normally it is there.
Normally it is there, but not on that document. It's not. And our
you told me to put it because that was
yes,
that was essential to put it in.
Yeah, we usually always put it in there. And our business is called Wisdom Woven in Time Healing. George and I are healers and psychics, and we do readings and things, so you can find us there.
So this is what I got just go. So, you know, I said there's a connection between Tesla and JFK and Star Trek. Remember I said that?
Yes.
Here we go. Ready? So I don't know if I knew this before, but it's just come to me that, so 481, which is the street number for that building, and that's preserved properly because it's super powerful. So 481, take off the 369, which is the Tesla number. So whenever I get a big number, I've said this to Rachel, right? So I've gone a number of times, like when I get a big number, I automatically go back to these defaults of like 369, maybe my own 1245 or 185 John Trump. I'll just reduce it down and see what's left and play with it. It's just kind of just it's like a quick shortcut just to see what's there. Mm-hmm. So if you do 481, take away 369. Remember what we said about Tesla, JFK, and Star Trek. So Tesla 481, well, that's the building. Take away the 369, you're left with 112. 112 is victory, but it's also Star Trek. And the reason I mentioned the whole thing of JFK with this is, so when he was taken out November 22nd, 1963, it was on a Friday 63. It happened in 63. He was Irish. Ireland 63, Irish is 63. 107, 126, you do 63 plus 63, that's 126. John Connor, Sarah Connor, the time travelers in the Terminator film. Today in the front of the newspaper here in England, there's a picture of the Terminator again. And I'm the one that always keeps talking about Terminator, Back to the Future. Star Trek. They did a Darth Vader, so I've got him here. Look at the Flash. You see the Flash? Vader. So I put up a Darth Vader pic, and I tell people, I show pictures of the paper like that. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, they had a picture of Darth Vader, who's over my shoulder. But 119 Redemption, Nikola Tesla. So Star Wars is 119 Nikola Tesla, and they're showing Darth Vader holding a mobile phone, just like I do. And it's like, well, who does that? So something's going on. Someone somewhere. One of my dear friends has suggested, she said, you might even own the Star newspaper, but you're not aware of it yet. Maybe my future self. I don't know, because it seems to be like this kind of portal of just info that keeps doing it. But going back to JFK, so
you were just talking about, you were just talking about 369 and Tesla.
Yeah, the 369.
My birthday is 9/3/69.
Wow, there you go. There you go. And I is 9, so I 369. So 9369.
And you know what else? My number plate. I happened to get a Daggy personalised number plate. I got GB for Georgie Beaumont 369. It adds up to 9369.
There you go.
Really?
GB News.
Wow.
You've got that here.
And I didn't even know that. So I worked it out after I saw you.
And you've got this, so, and the 369 as well goes back to the stuff with Kennedy. So you've got the day after was a Saturday. So if you do November 23rd, there you go, flash again. Saturday, November 23rd comes to 369. And I don't believe those events that we saw publicly, they weren't the case, and that's what we keep getting the flashes for. And also, Mark told me this, that Doctor Who is about time travel. That came out that day in England, but they had to re-show it again because the news globally was swamped with the events of JFK. But 369, the Tesla number. So immediately the day after the JFK events, and I think it was Tesla physics, time travel, all of it swapped in and out. However you want to do it, it wasn't what we saw. And we got another flash just then. It's the 369. And then above it, you've got the hertz. Hertz is the frequency. So above the book deposit, there's a, it's either happened at the time or around that time, there was an advert, Hertz. I don't know if it's Hertz cars or another Hertz power or whatever it was, but it's Hertz 77, which is power, which is Christ. And if you do if you do President Kennedy 188, coronavirus 188, close encounters 188, you also get Jesus of Nazareth 188, show me the money 188. So there's lots of stuff with 369, with JFK, with Tesla. And Star Trek, you know.
Wow!
And we've got 127 here. That's the ace. That's the ace of spades or the white hat. Let me do white hats again. So white is 60. Here we go. because you asked this one before and I didn't do it. So hats, H-A-T-S. Hang on. This might be another one they've changed on me. Go on. H-A-T, yeah, that's it. So white
now I know
hat.
what the Arcturians are saying about your brain. It's absolutely,
they've said to us
unbelievable.
many times too that we are like double the power. We're like a generator. If the two of us together as twins.
We only met 2 years ago.
We're not twins in this life. We're twins.
But in consciousness. Yeah.
And they keep telling us together you're very powerful. Use this. And so I'm just touching Claire now because I'm like, well, why don't we battery up right now?
Yeah, battery power it up.
Because we're getting all these zaps across the screen. I'm thinking, what happens if we touch each other too?
Not like that.
You know what I mean?
But the white hat's 94 November, John, and I said about November 5th. But the white hat is 127, which is the ace of spades, and the clock was 12:07. It's now 12:09 here, but 129. That's to do with Judgment Day, and that's to do with the time of JFK. So in Washington, no, in Dallas, it was. They say 12:30. They say 129, but I think, or they say 1:30. I think it was 129. That's what the real time of it is.
Wow.
Yeah. So white hats is very significant. It's the ace of spades. And even if you spell November 5th, going back to the 309, the shot heard around the world, which came up in your numbers, if you do November and then 5th, that's also 127. So the ace of spades is the white hat. And who's the white hat? I think it's worn by a number of people, but it's also 125, 129, 127 is November 5th, the ace of spades. And who's the ace of spades? Trump said he's got the ace of spades. I think they all, once they're at that level, on that top table, they're all playing, they all wear that hat at different times, Even your guides say, we're not wearing the hat, but these ones are, and they're laughing about it. So there's significance with the hat,
Yes, and who's wearing it? Yeah.
And hat's Diana, 29, Diana, yeah.
Yeah, she keeps
29.
We love her. We love her. Our course, we want to maybe just tell your viewers quickly about.
And we'll have a link below, and they get a discount if they sign up, and all the rest of it. We'll
yes,
below. Yeah,
indeed. So this is a very high vibrational healing course gifted to Georgie and I. A year ago, it took us to download it and channel it from the Andromedan Council, God and Jesus, and also other benevolent beings.
Jesus is Gematria 74.
Yeah, he's beautiful. We love him. It's for Reiki level 2 and above, healers, practitioners. But you can purchase the course without having done Reiki 1 and 2, and then take advantage of
Tom's discount,
which you can use in if you pay, I think by card, credit card.
Do they have to put I know you sent it, but do they need to put a coupon code or something in there? Or?
Yeah, the coupon code is TOM10, capital TOM 10. Put that in when you pay by credit card. I think if you pay by PayPal, it's not available, unfortunately. But there's a few payment options and for the tuition fee. It's been gifted by the 12th dimensional Andromedan beings, and to remove the C19 jabs. It has Christ divinations within the course. It's a 10-module course. It's completely online. And so you can, once you purchase it, you can do it wherever you are in the world in your own timing. And
sounds
we have
exciting, yeah.
Beautiful. And it's a very much a healing journey for the facilitator. And we encourage people to, take their time with it and really savor it, enjoy the beauty of it, and the channel teachings are very, very special.
We've done 2 live webinars so far where we've answered people's questions and talked about it. And those webinars are on our social media, on our YouTube channel, the Venus Twins, and on Rumble and stuff for people to look at if they want to again. But we've had quite a few people already complete the course, and some have had a few healings as well that they've done, and they've had great success. And the healing is actually guaranteed as well. It's guaranteed by the Council of Zene and God and Jesus, Holy Spirit.
Yes,
I need to go through the course. I'm up for that.
Yes, we'll send it to you, and with your login codes, Tom, you can do it. Yeah,
that'd be perfect.
We would love you to do that. You'd really love it. It's a beautiful experience to do, a real journey yourself to become a facilitator of it. And then to do this kind of work for humanity is just such an honor. It's amazing. And the miraculous healings that Claire and I are experiencing through the people that have been coming to us are just a real gift as well in themselves. But the exciting news we got recently too is that it was a 10-module course. And then we, through a few series of events, speaking to Brad Wozni actually from the Sovereign Soul, he just said, well, what about, people who haven't taken this weapon in the arm? What about giving us a beautiful, miraculous healing? And we thought, well, yeah, good question. So we delved into that more and channeled more stuff. And they said, well, it was never going to be only 10 modules. So there's going to be an 11th module now. And this one is for literally healing the masses. And it's going to be for anyone and everyone, all of humanity, a healing that is also guaranteed. And it removes all the toxins that we have been subjected to in this.
And when we say guaranteed, it doesn't cure the person of all of their health ailments, but what it does guarantee is that it returns the soul back to God, and that which has been disconnected when they chose to take that for whatever reason it was. And there's no judgment, and there's nothing, they did nothing wrong. But this is an unfortunate, what should we say, consequence of that choice. And this course helps them understand and become closer to God and understand.
It helps them to understand sovereignty, becoming a sovereign being again. So it's all about bringing all of us back to our sovereignty in our own health, making the decisions for our own body and our own well-being and the way we live in this world. So it's amazing, transformational stuff. And the 11th module is going to be an incredible free edition, and we've begun channeling that, but it's bigger than we thought, and it's really exciting. It's all about the body systems and removing all the toxins and poisons, including arsenic and fluoride and all the things
GMO from the
we have been subjected to by living on this planet in this dimension. So it's very exciting stuff.
Would you like to know who the Andromedan Council are?
Yes,
a little bit more. This is part in the course actually, so we thought we might read this out to you and your viewers so they understand where this information is coming from and these ancient benevolent beings.
This is a little part in the beginning of the course where they help people know who these beings are that we've channeled it through. The 9, who are our beautiful spirit guides, they're the most ancient beings in the universe and the multiverse. The 9 are the Venus Twins guides. These original ancient council members of the Venus Twins, precious, beautiful and loving spirit guides that have also gifted this course to humanity. The information contained in this course has been gifted from beings with ancient wisdom in their DNA and in their hearts. It is a gift to humanity that the 9, alongside the Andromedan of 9, have co-created to help raise the vibration, the collective consciousness of humanity, to help lift the veil of the Earth's artificial matrix that has held humanity captive and in slavery to the overlords of darkness for much too long. This course, Return to Sovereignty and God, aims to save the souls of all the beautiful humans who receive a healing detailed in the course manual. Saving these souls is God's work, and we, the Council of Zene, are truly humbled to be bringing this holy information to humanity through the Venus Twins. That's just part of it. But they're also 12th dimensional, the Andromedan Council members. And Claire and I are a part of that council, founding original members of that council, and we're telepathically connected to the Council of Andromeda and our guides, the 9, God and Jesus Christ, and all the benevolent beings who are connected to God and Christ and the Holy Spirit. So
yes, we're pure, what they call a pure channel, and so only the benevolent ones can come through. you know, the wonderful thing about, I guess, what we're offering and I guess the pureness, I like that word, because is that Georgie and I never expected any of this to happen to us. We've only met 2 years ago. Prior to that, I was a nurse for 30 years.
Nurse is 77 Christ.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I've come close to him, but anyway, I hope only. I love
you mentioned him just a minute ago, so it was like, oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that what you're doing. Yeah, I'm trying to understand, because you're very interesting, and yeah, it's just been an absolute whirlwind, really, of how much has been accomplished in such a short time.
Yeah, what's happened to us in a very short period of time, and
it's incredible
where it's leading, and yeah, we're just blown away by it.
And for people out there too who you might know, who are watching today, who have taken we can remove it remotely, so via Zoom. So if you contact us on our website, we do the healing remotely now, which has only just been allowed for us. Prior to that, we've been doing it just in person, but we can do it anywhere in the world now. That's just for us too now, because we've been in training for these 2 years. Facilitators will be allowed to do it remotely, but not yet. Not yet. It will happen though. Yeah, a bit like the Pantene ad. Won't happen overnight, but it will happen.
You know what guide comes to?
Sorry, darling.
The guide comes to 46, which is best, which is dove. So we're talking about the doves. So spirit guide, spirit's 91, POTUS, future, liberty, the father, space force. So spirit guide's 137, which is President JFK. Spirit guides 156, Baron Trump. And I said that Tesla lived on 33, so 33 is 156. My spirit guide is 175, which is consciousness, which is also Diana Francis Spencer, and she's definitely my spirit guide. I think I have others as well, but definitely. And then my spirit guides plural is 194, which comes to New Yorker Hotel. It comes to some other things and other people, but New Yorker Hotel is 194. It's also September 11th, 194, but that will get reversed. Yeah.
That's a special place, isn't it? The New Yorker. So what happened to you while you were there? Did anything special happen while you were there?
Well, yeah, I guess it did actually. Yeah, it did a few things. I was shown a number of things. It's interesting. And you talk about the collapse of sort of certain things, but also the rise of other things. I think some of that was going on. But also, when I was there, I bumped into a couple of people. I was there on September 11th. And September 11th, yeah. Gosh. Yeah, so September 11th comes to 194, the New Yorker. Well,
you
New
were
Yorker
in New
Hotel.
York on September 11th.
Wow.
In 2001. Yeah. So nearly 2 years ago, about a year and 3/4 ago. And so I was there and I was out with people that evening, and then two women come up to me out of the blue near this Irish pub, and they're like, you're Tom Numbers. I'm like, oh, hi. And then like, Huna, Flash and Janine just did a read on you, and you used to be married to Ivanka Trump 2 lifetimes ago. I'm like, whoa, okay, cool, you know. And then I did the numbers on it, and it all seems to correlate, because I met her. She got, when I said about the very first number, I was 118, and that came up in the show. My cousin Paul had died in 2015, May 31st, just a few days ago, actually, but 8 years ago. And his date of birth was January 18th, which is 118. Look at the flash, you just got it then. So that was him flashing then, just saying hello. 118 is the storm, the awakening, the matrix. So I knew he was talking to me from beyond the veil. I hadn't worked out that it was alphanumeric, because then my spirit guide, 175 consciousness, Diana Francis Spencer at the beginning of Corona, I just got an encyclopedia of, you know, many professorships in numbers just in like 3 weeks. It just all came to me, you know. But then, yeah, I met Ivanka. So I met Ivanka, and the day I met her was June 11th, which is coming up, which comes to 141 Tom Bushnell. It was the 162nd day of the year, 162, which is Trumpology, my digital course me and Mark did together on numbers. If you do day 162, it comes to 192, which is Ivanka Marie Trump. And then the picture we got where the 5-5 is, I mentioned. So there's me, her, and then a 5-5 in the distance of this building. But it's the Delmonico Plaza. Delmonico Plaza is 146 Ivanka Trump. New Jerusalem, Truth Social. And I'm like, okay, I've got 3 instant zingers straight off the bat. And Janine and Huna did it. And they like, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's great. Let me look at the numbers. And then I just, within 2 or 3 minutes, I got those 3. I was like, okay. And I didn't have to go searching. They just instantly popped up, you know. So I was like, okay, cool.
And Tom, the 31st of May that you were talking about, my uncle died on the 31st of May only a year ago, but I got married on the 31st of May.
Wow.
And that's a 9 if you just do the 31 and the 5 too.
Yeah.
Good.
It's interesting. Look, we got a flash again. We just got another flash again. So the thing with 31st of May, so my cousin Paul Dennis Bushnell, 208, quantum system. That's what his numbers come up to, quantum system or eternal quantum. Yeah, got another flash then. Durdle Door quantum, and I had things with there a few years ago, but I went there again just the last couple of days, a couple of times. But so he died, but he was age 38. 38 is death, which is change, which is balance. 38. JFK Jr., when he went into protection with the plane going down, etc., he's 38 as well. He was age 38. So it's an important number. But also, this is sad, but here in Bournemouth, on the 31st, you might have seen it in the news. It's a bit of a mystery. Down at the pier, a few miles down the road, they've got you've got a couple of piers. You've got Boscombe Pier, so that's not far. But you've got the Bournemouth one, which is the bigger one. That actually also, some people died on there on the 31st of May, just a couple of days ago. There was an accident there. So it's a unique time. It's like you know. So I'd have to look more into what the history of 31st of May is, because there's definitely been deaths and changes, but also you're talking about getting married as well. So it's probably a high vibrational date, you know. Yeah.
Wow, gosh. And I've never had a conversation quite like this.
No.
Ever. It's very interesting.
We just got a flash again then. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. You're so amazing, Tom. You really are. Wow.
Well, you two are as well, guys.
Having numbers in your head. Do you ever stop having numbers through your head?
Not really, no. Sometimes I'll dream in them, but it's I'm just always trying to just figure, you know, I'm doing my job and I enjoy it, you know. It's like it's always fun. Yeah, it is, because it just helps you. I'm always questioning and always trying to seek out what the answers to things are. And I'm like,
the way it just flows. It just our whole conversation has just been all these surprises popping up all the way along and flashes to just.
I know someone's been watching. Yeah.
Do you see these flashes very often, or is that?
I do. I haven't had them for a while. I'd get them on certain shows. I have. To be fair, I've not had the flashes like that for a while, but I do. I've had them before, and I'll get
going the whole time.
I think it's all the gang up on the Enterprise ship.
This has been really very consistent.
Do you know what I just said? I said I think it's all the gang up on the Enterprise ship, and then it went flash.
Yeah. See, they're having fun. The Enterprise. Exactly.
They're playing with us.
You know what? There is. I think it's the US. Is it the USS Enterprise? Something like the USS Enterprise ship or starship. There's something. I've done it before, but there is There's a direct 369 with the USS Enterprise. The name of it, the way it's written fully, it comes up to 369. I'll have to pull it out. But yeah, that's the 369 as well. Which, you know, Space
does
Force.
it contain the word starship? USS Starship Enterprise?
Don't know if it does actually. It's something. I'll have to dig it out. It'll be on one of my phones. I'll have to dig it out. It's probably on the one we're recording. But yeah, there's I'll message it. I'll bring it up. But there's definitely, if you do the full thing on it, it comes to 369, which doesn't, it's no coincidence. And their symbols are the same. So the Space Force is that arrow.
Yeah.
The tip of the spear, and also there's also Star Trek is the same. So it's like yeah, okay, yeah. Well, this has really been great fun, girls, and thanks for Dev for making this happen. But I'm excited to do another one with you because it's been really free flow. And do email me your download from the council. That was very, very personal and special. Thank you.
We'll send that to you too, so you can
Yeah.
read it.
Yeah, of course, that's for you. It was very, I think it was very synchronistic the way you began the conversation, and then I'm getting that ears ringing, and then the way that they explained it, it was lovely. Hey,
and you're wearing your Arcturian blue.
Yeah,
that's what I was just about to say. I was just about to say, I've got blue and you've got blue, and you've got the two, and blonde or yellow. It's blonde, but yellow is 92 numbers. Manhattan 92, reverse 92, you know, so yeah.
Well, we often wear blue as well, and Zenes are blue, like Arcturian beings, we're blue.
That's what I put on today. I didn't know what I got out of the shower. I was like, what am I going to put on? I'll put this one on.
Yeah. You're listening.
It suits you.
Yeah.
Oh,
brilliant.
So
thanks, guys. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate you catching up with us like this and having us on your show. We really appreciate it, Tom.
Well, thanks for coming on. Yeah, we'll do it again.
If you want to buy the course, it's all the links will be below.
We'll put the links below. Yeah, I'm excited to go through it, and we'll promote that. We'll put it out because we've got probably about 30 flashes through this show, so it's a confirmation. Get the course and listen to the girls. Yeah, so
yeah, it's all about healing humanity.
Yeah,
healing the masses.
Let's do it, everyone.
The vibration changing everybody's bodies into crystalline bodies. We're helping with the ascension. These healings are helping with the ascension. It's brilliant. And sovereignty.
Yes.
Thanks, girls. Much love. God bless. I'll speak to you soon.
God bless you too.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.